Welcome to the Wild Medicine Podcast. My name is Tarani, the owner of earthly.com, a sacred path to inner healing, self-discovery, and creativity. I am an energy healer and professional artist ready to reweave ceremony and heart-centeredness into humanity. Wild Medicine is a podcast to hold sacred space to learn the ancient ways of wellness. We talk about anything from spiritual alchemy to astrology and even trauma transmutation. It is my mission to educate you on the wild medicines of our world and to show you the way to unleash your personal power. This podcast is full of episodes with both just me and plenty of our powerful guests. Each episode we will bring to you the medicines of story, knowledge, and transformation. Now is our divine time to step into the sacred space and to take in all the powerful knowledge that I have for you today. Sit back, relax, and always tune in. Take what you need and leave whatever does not serve you. It is my honor to bring this message forth for you. Please enjoy. Hello and blessings, guys. Welcome to the Wild Medicine Podcast. This is Tarani. I am very grateful to be here today, and I am extremely grateful because today is the autumn equinox. This is a very powerful day for us to tune in with what's going on in our lives, what's changing, what's transcending, what is no longer serving us, and ultimately what layers of our being that we are ready to shed. So I wanted to make this podcast to hold space for us all to kind of tune in with what's going on in our lives and to discover, what this fall equinox is this year, the medicine that it has for us, and where we can take this. What illusions are we ready to shed? And what wild medicine does this season have for us? So thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for being here today. This is a listener-supported podcast, so if you enjoy the medicine that I have for you here, I invite you to leave a review and let me know what's working for you. Let me know how you're feeling. Not only does this really inspire me and give me some beautiful feedback, but it also lets other people know that this podcast is worthy of listening, and it also helps me get other guests onto the podcast. So if you are available, please go leave that review, and you can also check out earthly.com to tune in to the wild medicine that we have for you on the online world. Alrighty guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and tune in. So no matter where you are, whether you're driving, you're walking, you're cleaning, whatever you're doing while listening to this podcast, I invite you to take this moment to drop inside of yourself, still being aware of your surroundings and where you are, staying safe, and just focus on your breath, coming to the breath, inhaling fully, and exhaling fully. Inhaling fully, filling the stomach and the abdomen all the way up to the clavicle, using your entire lungs. And exhaling, letting it all fall, getting every last bit of stagnant oxygen out of you, squeezing it out of you. And we'll do that again. I invite you in this moment to show gratitude. Show gratitude for yourself and being where you are today, showing gratitude for the abundance in your life and the lessons that are filtering through, and your ability to stay strong and open to the world around you. And always give gratitude to the wild medicine all around us, running through our life. dear guides, guardians, ancestors, totems of the fall, we thank you for this space here today to tune in and to learn, to let the illusions fall, and to allow ourselves to walk fully into the initiation of autumn. We are grateful for your guidance, and we pay reverence to the wisdom that you will share with us throughout these seasons. Thank you, and Sat Nam. Beautiful. Today just feels so sweet. So the autumn equinox officially transitioned at 2:05 this morning. So in the wee hours while we were all sleeping, this subtle change happened throughout the earth that will ripple and create many changes, not just within the land and the weather and the atmosphere, but also within us. And I know for me that this season is a great time to remember our connection to the earth and to allow ourselves to fall into the cycles of the earth effortlessly and willingly. So while I was doing my morning devotions, and I pulled some cards for today because, well, it's a sacred day, so we gotta pull some cards. Every day's a good day to pull some cards, but especially today. And I pulled some for myself, and then I pulled some for you guys. And the deck that I pulled from first was my Keepers of the Light Oracle deck. And this was gifted to me by a sweet sacred sister, and it's been working wonders for myself and the people who join me in ceremony every week here in Houston. And last night I pulled this card, and then when I pulled it again today, when I was pulling for the collective, it came up. So I was like, oh my goodness, okay, this is definitely a goddess and an answer to where we're going. So the card that I pulled is Freya. I think that's how you pronounce her name, but she's a goddess. And it says phases and cycles. There is a beginning within every ending. Illusions are revealed and released. And so while I was looking more into this goddess, I learned that she is a goddess of the moon, and she teaches us how to go through the cycles and how to allow life to breathe its cycles. And she also is a warrior and a great queen, and she is very protective. She can see through the darkness. She can see boldly and bravely through any illusions and protect the world while navigating and healing the spaces that those illusions have created. And so I think she's a very powerful archetype and goddess to be working with us through this season where we are entering the shadow time of the year, where the veil is very thin and there is lots going on in the metaphysical world. And she is here to protect us and to guide us and to trust that there is a beginning within the ending, within the death, that there will be a rebirth, not just within you and I, but also within the land and the spirit of things. So it's very exciting. And, in this photo, she has a crow on her shoulder, and I feel like she's really inviting me this season to step forward and to explore the medicine that the many goddesses have for me, and to expand into new goddesses to learn new lessons. So maybe you can take that as well. What mythical beings, what story keepers, what, goddesses and gods out there have medicine stories for us to learn. And throughout these cycles. So if we think of fall, fall is, the very end of September, October, November, and up the majority of the month of December. And these are months where, It starts to get colder outside. Depending on where you live, the leaves begin to fall. The plants begin to, shed away and nourish the earth with their leaves and bring forth regeneration. This is also a time where we are being asked to hold more space for our families, where, it gets darker outside earlier. The days seem shorter, and to me, all of this is symbolic because this shows us as humans in our own cycles that this is a time to hold more space to heal the inner workings of our lives. Whereas summer and spring, we're enjoying all of those layers, and enjoying all of the sprouts and the blooms from the work that we've done. This is the season where we do that work and we hold space for remembrance of all that needs to be healed and all that needs to be seen. It is a sacred time for us to let go of the blockages in our life that aren't conducive to holding space for healing. And so, the frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything that we have gone through as a soul, as a human in a body, And it provides us with the vulnerability to face the information that we are receiving and to remember our tools so that we can flow gracefully with this time in our lives. And I know for me during this time of year, there's always a lot that I have to face, and there's a lot of things that get uncovered, a lot of things that I thought I healed that are resurfacing in a new way. And I think it's important for us to hold our tools close and hold our devotions closer so that we can get through this with grace and ease. And I know for me, I've been working a lot with the ancestors this summer in the shadow work that I've been doing. And I know that this season, that was all preparing me, and I'm sure a lot of you were going through that as well. It was all preparing us for this season where our ancestors, the veil is very clearly lifted, and we are able to directly communicate and heal our lineage in a whole new way. And I know I am very ready for that. So I am very excited. I'm very much looking forward to the healing that's going to be taking place during this season. And I'm excited to hold space to remember what it feels like to hold more space for myself, what it feels like to hold more space for my family, and to transcend that in a new way. Also, my intention with this season, while we're going through all of these experiences where we're going to be spending a lot of time with family and people that we may not see that often, for the better or for the worse, to hold more space for myself and to nourish myself even deeper so that I can show up for those family members in the highest, most loving vibration. And doing that inner work and doing that inner self-care so that I can be that person for them. Because I have a feeling that a lot is going to happen during this fall, and a lot is going to end. And during this duration of our lives during this season, our inner child are going to be doing the serious healing, the serious root chakra healing that has been surfacing. So we're still in the numerology 3 year, and the numerology 3 year is, a number of, the enlightened child, healing our inner child and bringing enlightenment to that childlike glow of ourselves, and bringing loving, healing, enlightened energy to our inner child, to the part of ourselves where we were hurt when we were younger, where we experienced neglect, where we experienced trauma, and just holding space for that part of ourselves in a very deep way. And so this fall, I think that a lot of those themes that we've been working with for a long time, and a lot of the blockages that we've been facing for a very long time in direct connection to our inner child is going to be released and is going to be transcended. So that as we enter next year, which is a numerology 4 year, we are able to do our work. We are able to show up in the most loving vibration. And we are able to be in full alignment with every single aspect of ourself, every single layer of ourself being in alignment and being in trust and unison with it, so that we can gratefully and honorably provide our medicine for the world. Because if we're, facing all of these blockages and facing all of these really crusty and old layers, it's hard to show up for others because we're so deep in the shit of ourselves. And I was talking last night because I did a autumn equinox cacao ceremony to pay reverence to the sacred energy. And during the ceremony, we were discussing about, what we're noticing right now and what that has to do with the autumn equinox. And for me, something that I shared, and it was just spilling out of me, and there was things that I was saying that I hadn't even fully connected, and now this morning I was like, whoa, that makes total sense, and I hadn't even thought about that before, and I think it's beautiful that it came through. So I realized that, there's certain stories that there's certain stories that I've been holding on to in my life and that my family has been holding on to. There's certain experiences within those stories that don't apply to us anymore. That don't fit in our reality anymore. And although our stories are such a deep part of our experience and our medicine for others and medicine for ourselves, that these stories brought us to where we are today, that I'm in a space in my life where not only am I transcending those stories and healing those stories and transmuting them to mean a whole different thing and to connect the dots of them, but that I'm also here at this time in my life to guide my family to do the same. And I'm sure, you guys can resonate when, we've gone through extremely traumatic things with our family, and everybody can really hold on with a very tight grip to those stories, to those experiences, and sometimes even throw backlash at each other for what has been done in the past, and to use it as a reason to keep ourselves in a lower vibration and keep ourselves in a nasty pattern because we are attached to these stories. And so I'm trying to figure out a way in my life where I can still honor these stories and still honor this part of our lives without holding that attachment that keeps us stuck in that vibration, so that we can truly transcend beyond that and truly step into the heart and the healing and the beauty of our family. And so I invite you guys to do the same. I invite you guys to figure out what that means for you, what that means for your family, your partners, and your own inner world. And figure out how you can bring forth those lessons and those transmutations and truly release the illusions that have been created around your family line, even if there was hexes or curses or ancestral negative patterns, and healing the ancestors who are not well, and healing the parts in our DNA that aren't well, and healing them so that we can step into this new decade. We're about to enter a whole new decade, the 20s, and we're a way that we can step into it where we're leaving all of that behind. We're leaving all of the density of it behind and only walking forward with the highest, most bountiful, juiciest, loving parts of it. And I think it's important to remember that not all of that has to, it looks different for everyone. What this experience looks like for me, and the time that it may take for everyone in my family to catch up with this, is going to look different. But I think the main importance is to just plant that seed and to initiate it so that this healing can truly happen. Because these kinds of things, depending on what you've gone through, depending on what your family has gone through, take time. And I think it's important for us to understand that it takes time and to trust that it's happening exactly how it is, but not letting that block you from initiating it. Initiate it, plant that seeds, release the old in yourself so that the others can see that you're releasing it too, and that you're stepping forward in that light. And through that, you're holding space for others to have the bravery to do the same. You know, monkey see, monkey do. It happens, especially in your family, because when you're doing the work, that work is surging through your blood, and energetically, everybody in your family line feels that in their blood too on a subtle level. And that subtle level, the more power that you give it to, the more that it comes to forth on a conscious level. So another thing that I think is really important during this autumn season is to hold space for communication and authentic communication. The communication that comes from the heart and the throat chakra being in balance. The frequency of communication, you know, it supports our ability to exchange information in many different forms. You know, there's nonverbal communication, there's spiritual communication, and there is literal verbal communication. And it reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart in the center of our truth, and to stay in the flow of source and to stay in balance while we are exchanging this information. I know for me and my clients and the many people that I've been working with in my life right now, including my family, everybody's working on heart-centered communication. Everybody's working on trying to come to a space where they're actually speaking from their heart, not just to others, but also to themselves. And I think it's really important. I think that reminder is such a blessing, because it's so easy to speak from a space of love when we choose to, when it's at the center of our mind. If we're in a space and we're just like, oh, okay, like, I need to speak from my heart. Like, I'm ready to speak from my heart. And we say that to ourselves and we initiate that to the world. Everything within you and around you is going to support you to come from that space of love, because the world needs it. And no matter what you're facing, you can speak from a space of love. And that doesn't mean that, you know, there's tough love. And it's very real when communication needs to be done. And I think that, you know, especially in times where maybe not everybody is ready for the communication that needs to take place, you can still hold that space with nonverbal communication. You can still hold that space with communicating through energy, through prayer. And just be respectful. I think that everybody's going to be very, very sensitive during this time. And I invite you to be respectful of that. And I invite you to honor everyone and everything that they're going through, and to really only, and use discernment when you're communicating what needs to be communicated. And make sure that it's in the highest good of everyone. And if you do that, things will go a lot smoother, okay? A lot smoother. You know, and you know, we all have different meanings. We all have different purposes. But I think that all of us can agree that a unified purpose that we all carry is to bring more love into this world, and to help others remember to love themselves and the world around us, and to remind yourself to love authentically. And I think that, you know, we can find a lot of commonality through that. And if all of us choose to come from a space of love, even during times when we're working through really heavy things, I think that we can experience a lot more bounty and a lot more beautiful, and live a much more blissful life. And so that being said, we are definitely working with root chakra stuff as well as with the heart. And I think that this season we're really going to be balancing the root, the heart, the throat, and the third eye. So we're going to be, you know, going within the root chakra, feeling the frequency of the root chakra, the passion, the securities or the insecurities that live there, the traumas that may live there, and allowing it to be healed, allowing what needs to be purged, and allowing what needs to be transcended so that we can feel the homeness, feel the support and the security in our root chakra so that we can fully step into our heart. And once we enter the unified energy of our heart, and in this space in our heart, we are able to directly connect to our ancestors. And I think for a lot of us, there's some lack in connection with not just our past ancestors and those who came before us, but those who are right here with us. It's so easy to judge our family members. I think more than anybody in our lives, like we judge our family members more than anyone. And it's a very sad thing, and it's something that I know that I'm working on, and it's something that I want to invite you guys to work on too. Because in order to do the healing that we need to do, no matter who you are, what you're going through, I mean, there's people in my life who say, well, I'm not here to heal my family. Well, you were born into your family for a reason. If there's something to heal within your family, do the work and do it gratefully and do it honorably and choose to speak up, choose to be that person who initiates the healing, because otherwise those patterns, those themes are just going to be relived and re-expressed through the next generation. And as we're going into the 20s, as we're going into this new decade, we want to carry with us the respect and the honor of the last generations so that we can welcome a new level of healing and a new level of living into these future generations. And that's only going to come from our heart space. So by opening your heart to the world around you, opening your heart to your family, opening your heart to yourself and to the many, many, many layers of our world, you are going to be able to live from a space of love and express from a safe space of love, which comes to our throat chakra, the communication. And I think a lot of us are going to be put in a space where we are going to have to communicate things that maybe we have been resisting for a very long time. I know for me, I've been talking to my mom and my mom about maybe doing some family counseling, because I could tell that we all really need it. And I think that this is going to be a perfect time to initiate that communication and start doing the communication that we've been resisting for a long time. And so I maybe think about that within your family. What kind of counseling, whether that's in a clinical setting or not in a clinical setting, but what kind of reverence can you pay through communication with your family? And I know for me and what I've experienced through my clients, what have I experienced through my family, what have I experienced in my own life, majority of the healing comes through communicating about it. And being brave to communicate about what's happened to you, what's happening, what's going on that you don't like, and expressing truly what's on your mind. And through that space, we are able to directly connect to our third eye chakra and be able to see through the illusions and be able to see through the platinum field of spirituality and be able to see more clearly with our mind's eye, to look at everything that's going on behind the scenes and to grasp that fully and carry it through our physical reality so that we can live a much more enriching life. And I think all of us, that's really what we want. We want to live a life that is enriched. We want to live a life that is nourishing. And if there's areas of our life that aren't nourishing, well, it's time to express that and let that go so that it can be fully transmuted. I think that we're all ready for that, And I think that through, working on remembering our totality, working on, supporting our memories and supporting the love and the grace and the fluidity that is within our memory, and choosing to step into the healing space of our memory and authentically communicating and doing the inner root chakra work so that we can get to those spaces, we're going to find a lot of prosperity. And a lot of the cycles that have been playing out for a long time, that no longer serve us are going to come to an end so that we can fully step into a new phase of our being. I know for me, I'm in a great cycle of change right now. And everything in the universe has been telling me, hey, things are changing right now. Stay in your heart. Stay in your heart so that you can be of best service to the change that is taking place. And, through that we can experience the prosperity. And the frequency of prosperity supports our feelings of well-being and, allowing ourselves to be inclusive with everything that is going on in our body and our mind and our spirits and our heart and our soul, and allow it to sing with 100% grace and ease, and allow it to invite us to express ourselves in joy and celebration and abundance that can enrich our lives at a point where the universe feels that enrichment and the universe feels that joy. And I know I want nothing more than to experience joy in my life. And that joy for me comes from the love I feel for myself, the love I feel and I experience from my family, and the love I feel and experience from my friends. And that communion, I'm ready for it. And that communion, I think that we're all ready for it on a collective level. And we're ready to lay all that no longer serves us to the rest. So this season is a perfect time to initiate that, and a perfect time to step into that power and step into that surrender, and surrendering to all that no longer serves us so that it can be transmuted, so that it can be let go of, so that it can be shed. And it's hard work, but it doesn't have to be. I think the hardest part of it is surrendering to it, and the hardest part is choosing to let go and coming to a point where you're fully letting go of it, where it's not like, oh, I'm just like letting go of a layer of this. It's like, no, I'm just going to cut the whole onion and just look at all the layers and just put them in the compost, give it back to the earth. Just a little analogy for you. So yeah, I think this is a very powerful time for all of us, and collectively, humanity. We're going to be letting go of a lot, so that this next decade can be very powerful, very, very powerful. And I know in the United States, after fall, we're going to be electing a new president, and I think that's very symbolic, as we are, not after the fall, but in 2020, like this is the last season where we can really begin to initiate the letting go of the cultural blockages that have been taking place, so that, whatever president does come forth and, leader of our nation, hopefully can be heart-centered and transmute a lot of the damage that has been done during this current presidency. It's going to be a lot of work, but we as the people have to step up and do that work within ourselves, and so that we can clearly see what the right decision is going to be. And letting the media, letting the electoral college, allowing that space be known what we're ready for. I could talk about that in another time. So I recently put out a blog on my website, earthny.com, sharing some rituals with you guys that are lovely for the fall season. And I definitely invite you guys to go ahead and check out that blog post. I shared 2 of my favorite rituals for the autumn season. And that it's a bath ritual, and so I share with you the ingredients for the sacred bath, which is a great way to ceremonially hold space for your cleansing and hold space for your nourishment. And then I share with you how you can do that and what all of that means and how you can do it in honor of the fall season. And these rituals can be done at any point during the fall. You don't just have to do it during the equinox, but it's just rituals that you can practice during autumn to assist you with whatever's coming up. And the other ritual that I shared is a burial ritual. And so this is a very, very powerful ritual. Many different cultures and traditions practice this ritual in many different ways. And I share with you how I practice it. And so this ritual, you basically take different items. So that could be pictures, that can be crystals, that can be old letters, that can be cards, that can be old journals, that can be old clothes, old blankets, just items from your past or items in your present that you feel need to be cleansed. So you just basically, I share with you the exact ritual and how to do it all on my website on earthly.com. But you basically are digging a hole into the earth through ceremony and through honor and respect, putting it all into the earth, and then burying it with respect, and then you leave it in the earth for 21 days. And then after 21 days, when you feel ready, you can extend that time period, but you want to leave it in there for at least 21 days. You dig up those items, and the level that they vibrate at is so comforting and nourishing. I've done this for myself in the past, and I'm really excited to invite this back into my life during this season, because it's a very, very powerful way to let go of the old stories, let go of the old energy, and allow the earth to transmute it and to sprout and blossom a new energy within these items. So definitely check out the blog on earthly.com so that you can fully see the full ritual, because there's a lot of little pieces to pay attention to. But yeah, anybody can do this. You don't need any prior experience, and it's all from a space of love and healing for yourself and your family, and the collective. So it's a safe thing to do, a safe way for you to connect with yourself, with the earth, and with the current times. So the last bit of the podcast, I wanted to hold space for a guided meditation for you guys, to hold space for finding your intention for this fall and finding the medicine for you to carry during this season. So if you're driving, you can choose to meditate with us while staying focused on your surroundings. But I also definitely want to invite you guys to come back to this meditation at a time when you can fully be present. It's not going to be too long, so that, it's not going to be too long. So definitely, whenever you get a time, whether that's before bed or in the morning, or just whenever you get a chance to kind of slow down and tune in, please come back to this meditation and fully allow yourself to enjoy it so that you can receive the medicine of it, because I'm going to take it very powerful for you guys. So thank you, and enjoy this beautiful meditation guided from my heart and my soul for you. Exhaling and allowing your body to become softer. Focusing on your breath, allowing your breath to be gentle, allowing your breath to be graceful. In moments of meditation, our breath is what can carry us deeper. And our breath is what can carry us through the awkwardness that we may experience. So just focus on your breath, inhaling fully and exhaling fully. Allowing yourself to tune in with the music and allowing it to take you into a deeper space of relaxation. On this next inhale, I invite you to breathe into your root chakra at the base of your spine. exhaling, allowing yourself to feel its power. And as you're feeling its power, perhaps a color of red begins to fill your vision. I invite you to allow this energy to surge through your entire body so that you can fully feel this glowing red energy grounding you and supporting you. I invite you in this moment to feel the earth below you and feel the powerful yet gentle support that our planet has for you. The gravity that it has provided us so that we can stay grounded. And as you're tuning in with the vibration of our planet Earth, I invite you to tune in with all of her elements. Allow yourself to see the dirt, to see the leaves, to see the plants growing from our planet. Allow yourself to see the many waters of our planet, the lakes, the rivers, the springs, the ocean. Allow yourself to feel the air, the beautiful air, that force that we cannot see but we can feel so deeply. The essence of Mother Earth that keeps us here and alive. Allowing yourself to see the fire, the magma, this regenerating force of Mother Earth. And now that you've tuned in with all of her seasons, all of her elements, allow yourself to invite them within you. Allowing the fire to crackle up through every part of your being and burning away all that no longer serves you. Allowing the air to breathe in and bringing in new cleansing energy within your entire body. Allowing the water to wash away any old aspects, old versions of yourself. Like a beautiful stream running all throughout your body, allow this water to wash away. Allow yourself to welcome the roots of Mother Earth within you. I invite you to imagine your root chakra as a gorgeous field of a flower life. The flower of life stimulates passion and support and your sense of security in our physical world. And the glowing red that is all within you now begins to be filled with the flower of life, which initiates deep roots to grow from the space within you and become firmly planted into Mother Earth. And in this full connection with our planet, I invite you to ask Mother Earth, what medicine does she have for you during this season? What invocation is it necessary for you to tune in with? What intention is your soul calling you to gather? And as you ask this question, hold space for yourself to listen to your inner voice, to gather the messages. And whatever comes up, allow it to come up. Whatever is communicated towards you, allow yourself to receive it fully, with grace and ease and trust. Inhaling that intention in fully, exhaling and allowing yourself to open yourself up to the remembrance, to the communication, to the grounding and the prosperity that this intention holds for you. Allowing yourself to accept the phases and cycles, the beginning within every ending, the illusions that will be revealed so that they can be released. At this time, I now invite all of our guides to present themselves to us here and now. Those guides that are here to lead the way, to show us the way, to connect with us, to protect us during this season of autumn. We ask you to come forth and make your presence known. May we call upon you whenever is needed, and may you present yourself in times of need. And may we build communication with you that is rooted in trust and gratitude. Thank you. We are opening. We are opening. Brothers and sisters, we are opening. Like the phoenix from the fire, we are rise from the ashes and spread your wings. Fly higher and higher, we are opening. Inhaling fully, this moment, I invite you to pray to the Mother Earth, pray to your guides, pray to every living force in this universe that is supporting you, the beloved beings who care so deeply about you. I invite you to pray to them and allow them to offer you the downloads, the regeneration that you need at this time. Open yourself up, allow yourself to receive them. Download, download, download. And as you are receiving these codes, remember to breathe. The deeper that you breathe, the more you will receive. Allow yourself to praise these codes, praise this energy, so that the blessings can rain down on you, and so that you can fully receive all that is here for you. Thank you so much, guides, for tuning in with us, to giving us the energy that we need at this time in our lives. May you stay rooted. May you stay connected. And may you stay flowing gracefully within this life. And may this season of autumn be the one where you choose to bravely share your medicine with the world. We are all ready for you. We are all ready for you to step into your power. We are all ready for you to do what it takes to initiate the healing that has been waiting lifetimes to take place. It is your job to fulfill this mission, and it is your job to stay in integrity. Inhaling fully into your body and exhaling out. Allowing your aura to be sealed, imagining a beautiful cocoon wrapping around you. A safe cloak. Allowing your energy to be sealed and protected. And before you come back, I invite you to first say a prayer for yourself. Say a prayer for the world. And lastly, say a prayer for someone you love. And then whenever you're ready, invite small movements into your body and fully bridge the connection between your mind, body, and spirit, so that you can come back fully grounded, fully planted, and fully in alignment with your mission, your intention, and your connection. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I bow to you with honor and respect. Thank you for tuning in with me. Thank you for listening. And thank you for supporting me throughout my journey. I truly could not do this without you guys. Thank you.